What is up, Neophytes? My name's Alan, aka NeoCryptor. Welcome to another community. Well, should I say the first official community showcase for the launch of Dual Universe? If I sound weird, guys, I apologize. I am starting to get sick. My throat is very sore. Been coughing up a storm, but you know what? That's not going to stop us from showing off some pretty cool stuff today. So, first, I think we're gonna, jump through and do a little montage of me running around in the ship show that went on this week. But after that, we got a couple of really decent ships to check out. One of them we're going to proper test too. I got the Cyclops, which both says should be able to lift like 1.5 to 1.7 KT off of Alioth, and it's a XS core. So we'll see how that goes. Man, I feel rough. I apologize if the energy levels are just not there this time. But trust me, I'm still excited, happy to be playing. It's just whatever the crap that I'm coming down with is really kicking my butt, guys. But let's go ahead and roll the footage from the ship show. All right, guys, we're taking a look at the Cyclops, which is up on GU Creators. It boasts that it can lift, mission packages, the XLNAL mission package. So heavy, super heavy stuff and heavy stuff, I guess. I don't know. Off of Alioth to run missions. And you know what? We're going to do that. We picked up a 1.8 kiloton mission package. We're getting ready to go actually pick it up right now. I just thought I'd bring you in and tell you about my impressions about how it flies. For an Xbox looking spaceship, it actually flies really well. So it's balanced and yeah. And it's let's check the yaw. Yaw's not bad. I don't yaw. You know me. I go into my turns and I roll, which it does that super well as well. It's actually quite well balanced and flies quite well. So yeah, let's go ahead and I will bring you back as soon as we land. And we'll see how this goes with picking up the mission package. Okay, so if we look at Arch HUD here, it says the safe atmo mass is 1.5 kilotons. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to go ahead and pick up this 1.8 kiloton package. Now, I do have skills, so it should be reduced probably to about 1.5 kilotons time we pick it up. Let's take a look here. Let's go ahead and grab this bad boy. That should fit. Am I linked to the wrong container? 576 kiloliters. Okay. Oh, my link's not active. That would do it. Hi, my name's Neo, and sometimes I'm a dork. So let's try that one more time, shall we? Let's see here. Let's take it. Retrieve package. Boom. All right. And now let's set our, well, why'd I close that? Let's go ahead and set our destination to Mattis. Copy. Set destination. And let's see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and use Arch HUD to autopilot this because, you know what, it's going to end up being a long flight, slow boating. So, yeah, why not use the tools that we are given? I'll be honest, I don't use Arch HUD a whole lot anymore, but for certain things like running missions, I still find it to be, the go-to. So let's go ahead and hit it up. Of course, it's going to say heavy loads, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, how much does that weigh in our cargo hold? 1.3 kilotons. So yeah, my mass reduction is working. So if this thinks we can do 1.5 without a problem, then this shouldn't be too hard for the ship. All right, here we are coming into Mattis after, an hour 20-minute trip at 20,000 kmh. Woo, that was a minute, man. That was a minute. Not gonna lie. But we're coming into Mattis to drop off our package, and so far this went very smoothly. Again, I'm using ArchHUD just to autopilot this run instead of flying it manually. But I mean, when you're going from Alioth to one of the other planets, honestly, that's what I do most of the time. Is I use some autopilot, not necessarily ArchHUD, but ArchHUD is the most common, and so I figure that's what I'll show on here. I've been using Aviator 1280's HUD quite a bit lately, as well as Albatross and my dear friend Geronimo's HUD that he has yet to release to the public. NQ, do the DRM thing for scripts, please, because that HUD needs to be in the public. Geronimo's HUD is fan-freaking-tastic. I loves it. But yeah, so, an autopilot for mission running is definitely a good thing in my opinion. So as you can see, this thing it handled well. It flew the route. It did, does what it says on the tin. Again, this is the Cyclops by Super Powerful Pro Army. 3 million quanta, 2 versions, basic version and a uncommon version. As soon as we land, I will show you the interior of the uncommon version. Like I said, there's a slight difference in the interior versus the basic version. And I do have a couple of notes that about it that are little nitpicky negatives in my opinion, because this thing, I can't complain too much because, like I said, it does what it says on the tin, and it's using the full build volume of an XS core. I'm gonna land on the needle. Ah! Not cool, man. We got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. We're good. Turn those engines off. I'm trying to do a video without crashing, There we go. Let's go ahead and turn in our package real quick while this is doing its thing. Make our cheddar. Let's see, how much are we supposed to be getting? 2 mil? Cool. Bam. All right. So that's done. And what a landing place. Let's fix that. Let's scoot forward just a hair here. There we go. That should be good. Or at least close enough, right? Maybe? Are we good? Are we guys set? Nope. All right. So, yeah. No comments from the Peanut Gallery how long it's taken me to park. This is honestly, other than just flying it real quick to test to see how it flew, this is my first actual proper trip in this ship. Cool. All right, let's take a look here at the interior. Let's start from the outside and work our way back in. So let's walk around the ship real quick so you can get a very good view of it. Let me kill the HUD. So I kind of feel like I am flying an Xbox or a game console, to be honest with you, just because of the blocky nature of it. But like I said, you know, it's taking up full build volume. So the fact that they were able to style this at all is pretty impressive to me. And still have to do what it says on the tin. So you walk right in, you're on the bridge. We have a little container hub linked to several excess containers for warp cell scrap, that kind of thing. Couple of passenger seats, and of course, the pilot sits right up there. We have a VR right here. Upstairs, we have the main hub for your main storage, which has quite a bit of. Let's see if I can do this without turning the HUD. No, okay, fine. We'll do it this way. As you can see, I do have this boosted, but it is at 576 kiloliters of storage, so plenty of storage to run, some missions. We have our res node, we have our, VR surrogate pod thing, node, whatever you want to call it. We have a line of 3 space fuel tanks here, Atmo tanks over here, the warp drive, the core, and then upstairs, in the basic version, this is where the lounge is. As you can see, actually, there's still some decorations in here. We have it's set up. There's a door here, right? If I remember right. Maybe. I don't know where it is. But yeah, we have a couple of crew bunks with some screens in here with some art on them. All the accoutrements of, necessary for home. We have our shower and bathroom facilities over here. You can take a shower and use the facilities while being rated by the shield unit. Like I said, there is doors. When that door is open, though, it's kind of hard to get to close. So I've just been leaving them open. And of course, we have our small shield right there. Now, nitpicky time. So for the first, couple of hours of me flying this thing, I was missing a fuel tank, and I couldn't figure out where it was. There's 3 space fuel tanks here, but there's 4 tanks. Only 3 Atmo, but 4 of the space fuel tanks, 1 for each engine. Come to find out, down here, you can kind of see it right there. There's a little hole in the wall that lets you get to the other one. This is not labeled, and it honestly was very difficult to find because I had no clue about that hole. I had to, find someone that had the ship and ask them exactly where it goes. By the way, it does come with damage report, etc. So yeah, that's a nitpicky thing. I just feel like either there should be a little sign here saying, fuel access, or make this a little bit more pronounced so you know exactly where it is. Other things is, again, nitpicky, and there are some caveats to this, but man, this thing is expensive to warp around. I looked at the cost of warping from Alioth to Tioma, because I go to Tioma quite a bit, and it was like 78 warp cells, something like that. And yeah, granted, this thing is big for an excess core, but that still just kind of really surprised me how many warp cells it was taking for an excess to warp that far. I'm like, wow, my small core is cheaper to warp than this thing. It was a little bit on the crazy side to me. But overall, it is a good ship. It does what it says on the tin. It's great for mission running. It has a small shield with the uncommon version. It has a warp drive with the uncommon version. And it's a good hauler. Definitely a good hauler. They did a fantastic job on it. And like I said, the fact that it is so big and they were able to style it at all is very impressive to me. And it does look pretty good considering what it is. It's taking up the full build volume. Anyway, guys, there will be a link to this ship down on in the description to the DU creators page. Definitely check it out. And if you end up buying it from them, leave a comment on the page saying, hey, Neo recommended this ship. And maybe they'll toss me some ships, because I all the ships that we are showing today, with the exception of one, I actually bought out of pocket parts, blueprints, and all this time. And I is broke, man. I am broke. Now I have 5 million since I did that mission, but still, in comparison to beta, man, I'm feeling the burn. All right, guys, let's move on to the next ship. All right, guys, next up, we're taking a look at The Squire by Toby-Wan Kenobi. This is a starter-friendly ship, and yeah, it is fantastic. Now, I have skinned this. This is not the default look of the ship. I skinned this to kind of fit my aesthetics, which, you know, with the way blueprints work now, is super easy to do. You just, you know, select the voxels that you want to use, and boom, or honeycomb rather. Anyway, this ship is a great little starter ship. I've actually been using it to run the ailerons mission on Alioth. It is all basic. It's pretty cheap to put together. You just have 4 basic engine or 4 basic large space, a couple of, you know, 4 mediums, 1 basic large Atmo. The style, well, I need not say anything because it's Toby-Wan Kenobi, and we all know how how well his ships are styled. Yeah, it flies wonderfully. Inside we have your fuel tanks back here. We have a little bit of piping going into the engine here from the Atmo fuel tank, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. Oh, we have the containers on either side over here, an empty spot here for more containers or whatever, little alcove. We have comes now the transmitter and receiver, or emitter and receiver, excuse me. I added myself because I am using Aviator 1280's HUD in here with the waypoint sync setup. It comes with a board. I don't remember what is on this board to begin with, but I put one of Aviator's scripts on it. And then this thing comes standard with one of the HUDs by Fox Racing. Man, I am stumbling over everything. I really don't feel well, but we're gonna get through this, I promise. But like I said, I've replaced that. I'm using Aviator 1280s because of the routing system for its autopilot, which also allows you to do, you know, automatic holds around the area. So once it hits a waypoint, it will just circle the area at whatever speed that you decide, which makes it really handy to run the aileron mission because I never have to land. I get to the point, it starts circling it, I accept, pick up package, you know, rinse, repeat out on the other side. Pretty awesome. Anyway, this ship flies fantastic. Let me go ahead and reactivate our HUD here. But you know, it wouldn't be a Toby ship if it didn't look good and it didn't fly good. I remember my Vector Voyager in Beta, as well as a few other of his ships that I had, and man, I love them. But yeah, this thing's pretty cheap to warp around to. It has a spot where you can add a warp drive. Does not come stock with one, but it is pretty cheap to warp around. I think it took me like 3 cells to warp from Alioth to Aegis. I haven't went too far, but I mean, yeah, that's perfectly acceptable to me. And yeah, overall, fantastic job as usual. So yeah, let's go ahead and take her out for a spin. In space, you know, our acceleration isn't fantastic, but again, the ship was designed with a starting player in mind. It's very cheap to put together, all basic engines. You could definitely upgrade it to whatever you want. I've been thinking about replacing the basic engines with safe engines, and maybe a couple of militaries for, you know, a couple of military space. You know, been thinking about it. I haven't decided because fuel economy on the ship is amazing in its default configuration. When I was running aileron missions in it, using the autopilot from Aviator here, and I never landed. Well, I landed once in 5 hours to refuel. So amazing fuel economy. This is a great little start around ship, and we are coming in way too hot. Let's see if I can slow down here before, yeah, before we come in like a great ball of fire. Anyway, so there will be a link to the DUC page, of course, for the ship in the description area of the YouTube video platform text thing bot. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get down, and I'll show you how she handles in Atmo. She's got good brakes and everything, so as you can see, we were going pretty quick, and I was able to slow down and pretty much come to a stop pretty rapidly. So, I mean, it's a very well-balanced ship, and absolutely amazing to pick up, especially if you're a new player and you can afford to get the ship. I highly recommend it. It is going to serve you well. I mean, I'm using it for kind of my general run around, pick up stuff from the market, run aileron missions when I'm bored and just want to do something. And overall it's just a good little ship. So all right, we are now in Atmo. Go ahead and cycle this off because we don't really need it. All right, so we have our vector line up. As you can see, it has no problems picking back up from a dive. Let's check its yaw. The yaw is pretty decent. As you can see, it does okay. And then of course, in the traditional turning, this thing does great, as you can see there. Overall, fantastic ship to fly, very fuel economical, very well balanced, super stylish, very easy to customize as well. So yeah, Toby, great ship, man, great ship. Sad to see you go, but yeah, Community is going to lose an amazing shipbuilder. For those of you who are not in the know, Toby has decided that after his subscription has expired, he's no longer going to be renewing it. So everybody, moment of silence that we're losing a great shipbuilder into you. Okay, well, I love the ship. It is, my go-to run-around cheap ship to fly right now. I don't really have much else to say about it. The warp drive, let's go ahead and land real quick. And I will show you where you slot the warp drive in, or where Toby, what are we doing here? Whoop. Hi, my name's Neo. I sometimes am a dork because it's getting kind of dark. Having a problem seeing. Let's go ahead, switch over to that and turn on parking mode. All right. And I don't know why I've been having weird issues with ships not landing all the way lately. And it's not just this HUD. Like Arch HUD's been doing it to me. One of my ships refuses to go further than about 30 meters below or above the surface without me really forcing it. Oh, and I think I'm locked up here. Give it a moment. Maybe it'll come back. Or maybe it won't. Okie dokie then. End recording. Okay, so yeah, I've been also having some issues with the game. So yeah, we have a res node down here under here. I don't think I showed that off in the beginning. And let's go ahead, before I show you where the warp drive is supposed to go, and take a look at the storage. It has 36 kiloliters of storage. So, good to go. Can carry a little bit of weight. So Toby told me that the warp drive slots in right here, which is where I put it. Now, when I put it in there, because of collision, it does stick out just a hair on the side. You can see it kind of poking through a little bit, but it's not horrible. It doesn't look bad. It's just something to note. I almost feel like it should go over here because I feel like this divot is where that little centerpiece should kind of line up, but it doesn't want to fit. It collides with too much stuff over here. So yeah, it does fit right here though. Anyway, guys, like I said, this is the Squire by Toby One Kenobi, one of the great DU shipbuilders. And yeah, it's phenomenal. Link down below. Check it out. Go pick up one. Give Toby some love, because I'm gonna miss him. He's my boy, All right, let's move on to the next ship. Oh, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. End recording. All right, guys, now we are taking a look at the VF-1 Valkyrie by Booty Banzai. And let me tell you, this ship gets a 6 out of 5. I love it. It's inspired by Robotech. If you know what Robotech is, then you'll know what a Valkyrie is. And yeah, the VF-1 Valkyrie does not disappoint in its styling. The only downside is it doesn't transform. It is an amazing ship. It flies super well. It is designed to be a fun little ship to fly. It's not a hauler. It's not a warp shuttle. It is just a toy to fly, and man, does it fill that role very well. It is one of the smoothest flights that I can say that I've ever had in into you, to be honest. And even when like half the adjusters are broken, it still flies super well. It's actually very impressive. So Booty really nailed it with this one. This is a semi-stock configuration. I'm running a different HUD. It comes with Arch HUD GeForce Now edition installed. This is the Geronimo's HUD that's not available right now. So don't ask me about it, guys, because yeah, can't tell you where to get it because he's not distributing it yet. But yeah, it's also the Lumi glass. I did replace the Lumi glass. It comes standard with red, but you know me. I love my purple. Gotta have my purple Lumi. So yeah, as you can see, it is in space. It is fairly quick. It gets up, it gets gone, does its thing. Let's go ahead and take her into Atmo and fly around because honestly, she's not super fast, but where she lacks in speed is super smooth to fly. And honestly, once my skills get a little better, she'll probably be really good to a little bit faster because I don't have max piloting skills. Most of my skills are only 3s and 4s right now because I have no alts this time around. Can't afford an alt. So I'm going it alone, I guess you could say. And so I'm having to switch skill training around left and right between industry, flight skills, mining, etc., etc., etc. Now I need to start adding some PvP stuff in too. So yeah, it's being rather difficult to try and. Oh, I think we're coming a little hot here. Can we do this? Can we survive? We can. Look at that. And we blew up a few things, but that's okay because this thing will still fly just fine. And also it does come with 2 ammo boxes and lasers where you see those rockets. I modified that where the ammo containers were. I went ahead and put 2 excess containers just so I have a little bit of storage. And then the rockets I added just because, it's supposed to be a fun ship. And I think rockets are fun. I don't have any fuel in them right now, though, sadly. I'm out of Xeron. But as you can see, this thing is super responsive, even with hearing a few explosions on the way in, right? So let's go ahead and... Yeah, this thing just flies super well. It's very durable. It is a great little ship. I'll set you back a whole whopping 1 million for the blueprint. Super, so not very expensive. If you want a token, Booty's got you covered there too. The tokens cost about 5 mil. I'll have a link down below. It has rare military engines, and yeah, it just sails, man. It just is so fun to fly. It looks really good. Overall, fantastic design. I'm a huge fan of Robotech, and yeah, it looks good. It flies good. You can't ask for more. If you just want something to run around in style and have, a smooth, fun flight doing it, this is 100% the ship for you. If you may have seen it in a couple other content creators videos as well, because yeah, it's super fun. It really is. It is a great little ship. Ask anyone who has one. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today. We went a little bit over on time, and I apologize for that. But next week, make sure you come back because not only are we looking at a couple of ships, but we are going to be checking out Boss Industries and their factory blueprints that you can get. So we're going to go check that out. I'm thinking about picking up a couple of their factories myself, because industry, it's a headache for me. I didn't do it really in beta, as you all know, and it is just a headache dealing with all the spaghetti of linking everything. So if that takes care of the links for me, then it's worth the money. Because I physically got a headache while trying to set up my uncommon engines. It was absolutely a nightmare. So we're going to be checking that out. And like I said, we have another couple ships lined up. And who knows what else we're going to do. So make sure you subscribe. You hit that bell button. All the stuff that the YouTube's analytics like. And yeah, if you want me to check out another ship or a build or, anything you'd like to see it up on the video series, leave me a comment down below. We'll get to it when, as soon as we can, as well as, you can always hit me up in Discord as well. I am always available on Discord, even though it says I'm always busy. That's just because I'm lazy, and instead of turning off notifications in the 100 or so Discords I'm in, I just leave myself in D&D mode. So, yeah. just, yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do because I just told you. And until next time, this is Neo, and I'll see you in game. Bye. Really super fun tip. End recording.